Were you a WCW guy very much? Because that's another thing that's kind of full circle to a lesser degree. Eric Bischoff, he was a commentator for WCW. I think personally he was an underrated commentator. I enjoyed his work for how he directed the show. But, and here you are again, 12 years later from when he was on Nitro. And, you're dealing with a guy who was one of the most seen commentators of the last, 15 years at that point.
Yeah, and Eric was always, very complimentary of my commentary, which I did appreciate him as a commentator. And I was a fan of WCW, and even going back, like I remember, I want to say WrestleMania 4 ran the same day as Clash of the Champions when it was Sting and Ric Flair that like went the distance.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have, I want to say WrestleMania 4 was on HBO or Showtime or once that year, and then it was on by WrestleMania 5 it was just like full scale pay-per-view. But I didn't see WrestleMania 4 live, but Clash of the Champions was on, and that really opened my eyes to that to their style and kind of the work rate that product had versus WWF at the time. But then, yeah, during the Monday Night Wars, man, I mean, I was like in the thick of it. It was the time like when I was in college, and so Monday nights, man, you get done with practice and get done with class, and that was the place to be is going back and forth and watching Raw and Nitro. And I was a big fan. I was a huge fan of WCW. I really liked the all the international talent that they were bringing in. With the luchadors and guys from Japan and the cruiserweights and I thought it was cool. And then I got hooked on the whole NWO storyline. And then on the flip side, obviously, I think that really was a catalyst for the Attitude Era. And then it was just everything kicked into full gear, and it was appointment viewing, man. It was must see TV every Monday night for sure.
Having your own little Nitro parties.
Dude, for sure. Yeah. I wish they had come to our place at SC like they did a couple times when they would, they'd go to the parties, and then all of a sudden the hardcore match would like break out in the dorm or whatever, or the frat house. But because I don't Club La Vila and Spring Break, I don't think had anything on some of the parties. I lived with a bunch of the guys from the football team, and it was a good time to say the least. But no, I was totally invested in both.